First of all, thank you for coming and being with us this evening. Everybody knows that today we are here in order to celebrate, I would say, to launch a new book, Memories of Baku. Traditionally, every speech in such kind of event starts with a thanks to the main person. The main person today is Mr. Iljine, whom I had the privilege to meet several years ago in London at one of the events where the famous Azerbaijani artist Farhad Khalilov exhibited his, and it happened that they're good friends. And the conversation about the book actually took place, if I'm not mistaken, that time. Why Baku is so interesting? It's unforgettable hospitality, definitely, and it's positive energy. It is history, architecture, all together, and it's very high speed of development is going on. It's very interesting, and it is a synthesis, a mixture of European and Oriental cultures all together that make this city a very interesting place to visit.
Asia House is a centre of expertise on Asia. We cover politics and policy, we cover business, commerce, economics, and we cover culture. We're keenly interested in Azerbaijan for all of the above. You know, Azerbaijan, the Caspian corridor, is going to play an increasingly important part in the world's energy supply through the TAP pipeline, the proposed TANOP pipeline. There's a huge story there just in terms of energy. But it's going to play an even bigger role. Its attempt to diversify outside of energy is a fascinating story in its own right. And we'll be talking about Azerbaijan in terms of trade, in terms of luxury goods, and in terms of its geopolitical position in a changing world. This is the century of Asia. This is the Asian century, and Azerbaijan is going to become, if it isn't already, it's going to become increasingly an important part of the world that we need to take a look at in terms of politics, in terms of business, and in terms of culture. The book that we're talking about meets all of our criteria. It talks about the rich cultural history of a part of the world in which we're interested, and I believe there were parallels one can draw between where it was then at the end of the 19th century and beginning of the 20th, and where Azerbaijan, Baku in particular, now resides. It's an important book. I'm told on better authority than myself, it is one of the most important books on Baku in the last decade. It includes images and essays from leading academics back to the old Baku, the melting pot, the East meets West time where oil was being exported, was the world's largest oil exporter, and there was a rich mix of cultures coming in. So for all those reasons, not only the importance of Baku at that time, but the importance of Baku and Azerbaijan and the Caspian corridor in this century, I commend you to this book.
Well, thank you all for coming, Ambassador, Michael, Nick. On behalf of the co-chairs of the Britain-Azerbaijan Business Council, Baroness Simons and Dr. Hajiev from the International Bank of Azerbaijan, welcome. Thank you for coming. We are so thrilled to celebrate the launch of this book because there are many histories that for a while remain fragmented, and it takes a scholar, art historian, and person from a notable intellectual family like Nick Iljine to pull this together. And we're so grateful to Mr. Ulrich Kazimov, who is in the Baku model, both IT entrepreneur and patron of the arts, and also from a distinguished family. The Azeris are paradigmatically modest, so I'm going to embarrass them here, because what the world is often missing is not more books and more paintings, but the ferment that makes them possible. And that's why this book is important, is because it helps deconstruct what happened in this amazing era in Baku, that both the cultural dynamism and the commercial dynamism were equal matches for each other.
And the difference between oil in Baku and oil in the Emirates is that the Emirates were a desert with a few camels and a few fishermen, and there was zero culture there. But when they struck oil, then the wealth began to flow. But Azerbaijan has hundreds and thousands of years of traditions in the country, cultural traditions. And when they struck oil, at some stage, they invited foreign investors, of which the famous ones are Rothschild, Nobel, and so on. who built themselves beautiful palazzos there which still exist using Italian, French architects, but also with an oriental touch, as you will see in the book. And most of those buildings are still there, quite apart from the old city, of course. I can only recommend, for those who haven't been to Baku, take a good look at the book and make sure you get there within the next 12 months.